Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aparna and I've been a senior software engineer at big tech companies like Netflix, Zynga and Yahoo. And I've been doing this for more than 10 years professionally. And because laughter is the best medicine, today we're gonna review some software engineering memes and have a good laugh. So let's go. Me when coding when I'm in front of someone. This is a tribute to every time you've tried to code when someone's looking over your shoulder. Most of the time, software engineers are copy-pasting code from Stack Overflow, and none of us want others to see that really in process. It's kind of unspoken truth. So when somebody's watching you and you start typing out syntax and you can't remember most of the syntax, you start typing garbage. The worst incident that happened to me, this was an on-site Google interview. I was a new college grad and I'm already in a panic mode while this guy gives me merge sort to type out. That algorithm needs a little bit of thinking and just, I was trying to talk out loud and he's looking over my shoulder and he's like, don't talk out loud, just type, do your best work. This laptop is going to the hiring committee. I was so panicked. There's no Stack Overflow. There's nothing to copy from. And the guy who's responsible for giving me a full-time job is looking over my shoulder. My fingers completely froze. And this never went away, even after 10 years of coding. I'm pretty good at it. I'm so fast at typing code. When someone comes to look over the shoulder, this is what happens. This is what happens. Like, I have half of the syntax from Android and half from iOS and I don't know what I'm doing, especially in pressure situations. So very accurate. What's the magic word to get what you want? Sudo. Oh my gosh, this is the best meme software engineering someone has created out there. If you have ever used Linux and you are a parent, or even if you've dealt with kids, this is going to speak to your heart. So in Linux, most of the times we are trying to make some changes, maybe move directories, delete something, and almost every time, especially if you're on a company laptop, there are certain permissions that are set up that you're not allowed to do this, and it keeps giving you permission denied, access denied, stuff like that. And you're not supposed to use sudo, but all the time, all the freaking time, you're like, I'll see whatever happens, you just use sudo, which means it's like a force command and it obliterates any permissions that are applied to that directory. It's not recommended to use sudo a lot, but yes, the magic word to get what you want. Sudo does the trick when it comes to Linux. I think I'm gonna teach my kids that when they want a cookie. It sucks for me that Stack Overflow is down, but it really sucks for the brave soul who has to fix Stack Overflow without using Stack Overflow. It does make sense. Again, we're using Stack Overflow all the time. Every time we want to how do you add something to an array? Stack Overflow, JavaScript, how do you add something to an array? The most common place where developers hang out is that. So yes, if Stack Overflow is down, they might have to open real physical books then. Gosh, bless your soul, Stack Overflow developers, you guys have done really good work in this world. When I see a door that says push, I always pull to avoid conflicts. When you're entering a coffee shop and it says push, you push the door. What they mean by saying pull to avoid conflicts is git pull. Git is a repository of code. There are multiple developers working on the same project. So what we do is we code and we push to a repository from where everyone else can pull the code, and then we merge the code. Most of the times when you pull someone else's work, a merge conflict happens because Git doesn't really know where someone's code goes in the same file, especially if you're working in the same file. Sometimes the code is like spaghetti. 2 lines written by one developer and the next 2 lines written by you, and there is no way for Git to know sometimes where should those 2 lines be collected. So the person who pulls does all of the work. And if you start pushing code without pulling, then Git will be like, dude, I don't know. There are many people who've added code. You better pull, resolve the merge conflicts, and then you're able to push. That was a long-winded explanation of why a developer might not push a door, but always pull first. Oh my gosh. Alias, CD equals to RM minus RF. Dude, this is savage. This is so bad. Imagine if your IT department set up all laptops with this alias. An alias is nothing but a shortcut in Linux. In bash profiles, you can set up aliases. And this alias says cd, which stands for change directory, to mean rm minus rf, which means remove this directory. So instead of actually going into that directory, you will end up removing with force. Minus rf is almost like sudo. And I love the evil picture of this little girl over here. This is so evil. I hope, I've never done this, obviously, like this is ridiculous. So I hope like Bash or Linux have some checks around this kind of alias and say that you can't use cd as a setup of alias because cd is a command. I think that should be true because it's kind of like a keyword cd. You use it all the time, so people should not be able to override what that means, because bad things like these can happen. I use dark theme because light attracts bugs. Obviously, it makes no sense. Bugs are problems in a software. We call them bugs because they just kind of creep up on you. It's so metaphorical. There's so many metaphors that are used from the real world to software world. For example, desktop on Windows. Windows was actually one of the best metaphor collection that they came out with, and that's why it was so easy for you to learn Windows. Remember in the 1990s when you started using Windows? And a bug is a similar metaphor. It creeps up on you, it makes things break, and it's very annoying. So a dark theme is not going to help you save yourself from bugs, but I like the play on words. Explain deadlock and we'll hire you. Hire me and I'll explain it to you. Let's discuss the salary. He got the job. Did you guys see what he did here? So a deadlock is an operating systems principle. It's been almost 15-20 years since I studied this for the first time, and being a front-end and a mobile engineer, I did not use this concept in my day-to-day career, so I'm using help of Mr. Google to explain this. So resource 1 is assigned to process 1, and process 1 is waiting for resource 2, but resource 2 is assigned to process 2, which is waiting for resource 1. As you can see, there's a circular dependency, and that creates a deadlock. So in this meme, there's a circular dependency. They're asking them, explain to me a deadlock and I'll hire you. And he says, hire me and I'll explain you the deadlock. Clearly, he understands what it is. Is an extremely witty person to think about this in an interview. I would not be sitting there joking in an interview, but I guess we can learn. Very smart. I don't know who comes up with these memes, man. Like, these guys are the real creative software engineers, real creative people. I hope I can create a meme of my own. All right, moving on. A group of wolves is called a pack. A group of crows is called a murder. A group of developers is called a, drum roll please, merge conflict. Of course, that's what I was talking about when we were talking about the git pull and push, that when many developers are working on the same project, sometimes they are changing the same file. In this file, there are multiple lines of code. So if I add a few lines here and another developer adds a few lines there, that can cause a merge conflict because Git, which is the version control system that holds all of this code on the cloud for us, cannot for the life of it understand which line has to stay there and which line needs to be deleted. Especially if another developer deleted what I had written, Git doesn't know the source of truth over there or the logic that was used behind that decision. So whenever multiple developers are working on a project, there is going to be a merge conflict. Almost every week, at least, I've solved 2 or 3 merge conflicts. Like, that is 25, maybe 30% of a developer's job. So next time when you're asking for salary, you could ask for a 30% bump because you'd be solving merge conflicts 30% of your time. That's all the memes I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this fun and lighthearted video and learned something from it. And if you're interested in becoming a software engineer and knowing how to get there, how to get those big tech salaries, I have some incredible videos for you to check out on this channel. Go watch the video where I talk about how to become a software engineer and how much it's going to cost you. And also, if you do become a software engineer and you're getting your first job, how to negotiate your salary. For more such fun and entertaining software content, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And as always, stay happy and healthy. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.